Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
Are you enjoying this time of winter solace, this era of candy canes and cinnamon, of the tree of life and death?
Wow.
It's a time where we take the mouths of babes and we fill it with the candy of Christ.
Oh my God. What a stunning way of describing this beautiful Christmas season.
Easter 2.0 is what I like to call it.
That's what you call Christmas?
I call it, second Easter. Because
Second Easter.
Yeah. Easter is more important. If you're raised Catholic, like I was, Easter is way more important. Because all Jesus did, all Christmas is like some kid being born with the blood of God.
Some kid.
Yeah, it's he hasn't done anything yet. I mean, imagine Christmas is full of dread, in my opinion, because you have this idea, because God at that point has been omnipotent, even though he's like started civilizations and then wiped them out. Sodom and Gomorrah had, because they were all doing incest, or so, were like, right? They were like, Lot's daughters were trying to seduce him.
Yeah, Lot's daughters pulled a fun little prank on their father.
Right.
Got him drunk and had sex with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And God was like, well, that wasn't part of my plan. So, but still, he was omnipotent. He was all knowing. But now, and he also turns a woman into salt because, because
she looked back, which is bad symbolically.
You think he said like, well, your eggs are going to taste better because you got salt now. I mean, look, maybe because
like a little catchphrase as he's turning her to salt.
Yeah.
How about some salt for those eggs?
Yeah. You bitch.
You bitch. That's I like the idea of God having little catchphrases for all he does, for what he does.
We said let there be light, right?
Like maybe when he's doing the whole Noah's Ark, the flood, he's like, don't hold your breath.
Oh, because they're drowning to death?
Because they're drowning.
He just has like babies drowning to death. And he's like, I had him build a boat. Build your own boat. God, there's God. Yeah, and what else could he have said? No ham. That's not as catchy.
Yeah.
Don't eat the ham. It's my ham. You think God was just going around the earth eating all the ham? That's why he didn't want the Jewish people eating it? Like he would just sneak around, like,
because he knew how good it was.
Yeah, he would just sneak around eating ham sandwiches all day.
They actually, in the biblical times, they used to call God the great ham thief.
The great ham thief, and if you said it to his face, he would send you to Abu Ghraib in the future. He's like, you're going to 2006 in Iraq, motherfucker.
You're saying all of our Abu Ghraib prisoners were really just biblical time travelers? Biblical time travelers
exclusively who called out God for stealing ham sandwiches. Yeah, but you're God, that's fine. You can, all that is fair game when you're God. But now he's got some pissing and moaning little kid who's who's like, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know if he's going to get himself killed, which is what he wants. Like Easter's nice. He's like, yes, he did it. He got those nails in the hands. That's the plan.
He did it. He took that crucifixion.
It's like LeBron James,
like a champ.
It's like LeBron James finally winning his first NBA Finals. It was just like a relief, right? Thank God my son is dead. Has died.
But when Jesus is born in the manger, people around the world know that he's gonna be the guy who gets the nails in the hands, right?
I don't think I don't think God told him that part of the plan.
They know that he's gonna be this guy, that he's gonna be a big guy.
To the
point where what happens? The shepherds see the star, and then they come, and then they somehow turn into the kings.
You think the shepherds turn into kings? like it's some kind of bedazzled movie,
like in Cinderella.
You think the shepherds like little mice are being? Who's the fairy godmother in this situation?
God.
The guy's just like, hey, shepherds, you're kings now. Kings of what? Of sheep shit. Get over there. Praise my boy. Like, you think you're scrambling? I should have had some kings come over to meet him, like my son. And he's like, shepherds. I need you to pretend to be kings. What? Why would we all be traveling around together?
For one enchanted evening.
Wait, so we're 3 different kings. Of where? Doesn't matter.
Orientar.
Orientar.
Isn't that how the song goes? Like, we 3 kings of Orient.
You think it's we 3 kings of Orientar? You think? Wait, you think? Now, I don't. It's not a probably acceptable thing to say anymore. But regardless, you think the song was "We 3 Kings of Orientar"?
I don't know.
Are they selling tar heroin?
I don't know how lazy the writers of these songs.
Bricks of tar. We're the kings of heroin. The heroin trade. The Golden Triangle is our kingdom. Is that what you're trying to imply about the 3 wise men? No, we 3 kings of Orient far.
Oh, okay. See, I thought Orientar was like a fake place in the Bible or something.
Oh, you thought it was one word, like Orientar?
Yeah.
Where did you think Orientar was?
I don't know. I'm the same.
Next to Liechtenstein?
Yeah, it's on
Nebula.
Nebula. Planet Nebula.
You thought those are aliens?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
As a kid, did you really think that the 3 wise men were extraterrestrial?
No, but I did think that they came from a made up place.
Okay, well, I mean,
I figured that a lot of stuff in the Bible was just made up.
I think it's fair. It's just odd that, like, you know, what here was made up? The water into wine, the pillar of salt, the angels. I think the fact that there's any place besides, you know, other place as kings. Bullshit.
No, just basic geography is what I'm skeptical of.
Right. No, I mean, look, there is no place called the Orient. So
yeah,
I think people get offended because you only refer to things as Oriental, right? Like rugs. You don't refer to people.
Oh, okay.
God didn't get that memo.
No.
God wasn't at that meeting, so he's still using the old language. But no, God didn't turn shepherds into kings. They were from the east somewhere. China, I don't know, Africa. Okay. Why are 3 kings just traveling together?
Are you saying?
I'm asking you. There's 3. Have you ever heard of like multiple kings with no posse? Just no.
We're friends because we have so much in common because we're all kings.
King, have you decided who you're going to take on your journey? Which advisors are you going to take on your journey to see this new godchild that you star mapped? You saw in your telescope. The constellation or whatever. Mm. If you know, by the way, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's just dumb. You know, people. We were having a famine right now. Like, we should really be addressing that. I don't think you should be traveling to see some star baby. But if you decide which advisors you want to bring, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring King Bob and King Henry. Wait, what?
We're just gonna do a king bro trip.
Don't they have their own kingdoms to look after? Yeah,
no, that is a great point. Why are kings don't ever just hang out like that?
Look, the closest you get is when like George Bush and Tony Blair do the Iraq War, and they meet up sometimes, and it's like, and Blair's like trying to tell them about, like, you know, the problems in Fallujah, and like Bush is trying to figure out how to eat a Subway sandwich, yeah, so I don't know what they're doing there, but they get called interchangeably wise men and kings. Mm. Were they just doing it in a way when you say, like, LeBron James, hey, what's up, King? You know, go off, King. You know. Anyway,
the shepherds are different, though.
The shepherds, well, they were in a manger. Look, I'm going to school you on the Christmas story.
No, but the shepherds had to travel, too, because they saw some kind of star in the sky.
They did not have to travel. You are remembering it wrong. You are missing the point of it. The whole point is that they had to go, Mary and Joseph, the parents of the God, had to go to Bethlehem, right? To go get for a census. Mm. Because Rome was going to, like, do a little what's gerrymandering. redistricting, whatever, to get the Republicans more seats. And so they had to show up in Bethlehem, and there was no more rooms at the inn. That's where the expression comes, rooms at the inn. There's no rooms at the inn.
Well, that part I knew, but that was just some curmudgeon who owns the...
Right, where do they have the baby then?
The thing.
What do you think a manger is?
The shepherds are out in the field.
What is a manger?
It's a place where the goats live or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the goats and the sheep and which baby. But Jesus, how are you not connecting the two?
No. Look, that part I get, but
Right.
I'm just saying I don't think the shepherds were already there hanging out.
They were in the field.
They were out in the field. I
right.
bet it was at least like a 2-hour car ride for the shepherds to get there.
They bring the sheep in. They go out with the sheep and they're eating and they bring them in every night, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they sleep with the sheep. I don't know.
I thought they were sleeping with their sheep, and then this star angel appeared and was like, "By the way, this woman's pushing God out of her pussy right now. You gotta go check it out."
Look, you might be right. Maybe there was an angel. I mean, in reality, it was just some guy it was God eating a ham sandwich, going like, "Hey, look over that manger." He's standing over like Mary, just having contractions, screaming. He's eating a ham.
Hey,
no one really showed up for this, huh? Like, would you invite anybody?
Go see my son get born. If you see any pigs in there, don't touch them.
He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. He just goes, "Yo, my man. What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just shepherding sheep." He's like, yeah. Go look in there. Some woman's giving birth. You can see a pussy. And he's like, I gotta watch these sheep. Like, I'll watch them for you. And the sheep will go like run away. But God was supposed to be watching them, but he just didn't. Because God's a prankster. Anyway, we got a long tangent about but the point is, it's a moment of dread because you don't know if he's gonna get those nails in him. But it's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time of year.
It is. Do you, when you were a child,
yes,
and you were decorating your Christmas tree, did you listen to a lot of Christmas music?
I mean, there would be like, "Oh, holy night, the stars are shining brightly," or something. There was Jingle Bells. Yeah. I mean, I guess it was on.
Did you ever hear a song that was like a dialect? Because I remember listening.
A dialect?
Kind of a dialect, but it was like, I also heard like "Oh Holy Night" and stuff on the Christmas music channels or whatever.
Channels? Like what? Okay, yeah.
But did you ever hear this song? I only heard it once.
Yeah.
When I was decorating a tree as a kid. But it was like this dialogue. It's the lyrics are like this dialogue between Mary and Joseph.
No.
And Joseph is basically, and it's like a very serious, like very religious sounding song. But it's like it's basically Mary telling Joseph that she's pregnant, and Joseph getting mad at her and accusing her of cheating on him, and then her saying like, "No, it's God."
Wait,
the Son of God.
Can you find this on Google? Google this. This isn't. I mean, this is like.
I don't really know what it's called.
Just Google Christmas song about with Jerry Moses and Mary, and Joseph and Mary.
Joseph and Mary.
This is insane. So he's just going like, "You bitch, you fucking cheated on me. Can't believe you. You're just a stuck-up hooker. No, I'm not. You have some other guy's baby. He's the son of God. I don't believe you're a lying whore. Stop calling me a whore. Ooh, do.
Oh, Christmas ballad. Joseph and Mary were living in Galilee. That could be it.
Who wrote this? This is a bastard baby. Stop calling him that. He can understand you. He's an alien baby. Is that what he said? Is that what the angel said? He's an alien baby? I don't know. He was confused. He just showed up. This guy showed up and told me he was having the Son of God. He roofied you. Godsongs.net. I guess we can't.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, let me see if. Okay, Christmas ballad.
This is it?
Maybe.
When Caesar demanded a census by his decree.
Wait, what?
We get content IDs for this.
They had to travel to Bethlehem, which was a very long way for them.
This song sucks. That's not what it was.
We're gonna get pulled for that. Whatever, we'll get demonetized. Whatever. We're gonna get money. Cool.
Anyway, I maybe I'll never find it, but I remember it.
That's your memory of Christmas. Is just, gee, I can't believe you having a bastard. I'm raising a bastard. Merry Christmas. I'm raising a bastard.
If anyone else knows what song I'm talking about, please send it to
crowdsource it. We'd love to have the guy do a live show for us.
Yeah.
We can set that up. We're big deals, kind of. Not at all. I'm sure he's much more popular than us. He probably lives in Beverly Hills of that one song that was barely known. Anyway, it's Christmas. You know, it's trees. It's candy cane sculptures. What can you make out of a can? Can you make anything into a candy cane? Why don't they do that? Why don't they have molds? Ooh. They should make
meat candy canes.
What do you mean meat like candy cane meat?
Yeah.
So it's shaped like a steak?
No, it's steak in the form of a candy cane.
No, can they make any shape into a candy cane? Can candy cane be any shape? Not can they make like a friggin', one of those surgical tools they use on like kids who have leukemia, what am I saying? Can they turn my son's tumor into a candy cane? That's not what but we can do a candy cane in the shape of his tumor is my point. I almost lost that. I got there. That one, I got confused myself for a second.
Oh, so it's kind of like it's like one of those realistic cakes, like where like the woman's like those TikToks where the woman serves her husband a plate of very real looking steak, but then he cuts into it and it's cake.
Oh, I guess so.
This would be like candy cane.
Yeah, I don't know that it needs to be like convincing people. We're not trying to gaslight. It's like some kid like, hey, kid, we got you a house. Like some poor kid.
Yeah.
You give a poor family a house. Yeah. And here's the keys to your new house. And they go, you bring him to a really nice house, and they go put it in the lock and cracks. And it's like, it's a candy cane. You think we bought you a house? I'm a convicted pedophile.
Hey,
he runs away.
Hey, hey, here's some insulin for your grandmother.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
it's candy.
Yeah, you gotta suck it to a point and then shove it in her. And because he's like he does it. He's like honestly, because the guy's a convicted pedophile, so he's like sucking on the candy. It's like there's definitely implication there too. It's gross. I'm not trying. I don't want this to be made. But the kid gets down to a point. And he goes, but the guy is like somehow not.
Wait, who is this guy?
I'm saying the host of the show.
I thought that it was gonna be. I thought you were hosting.
No, it's some convicted pedophile who's doing this in my head. I had this like idea.
Maybe that's something Harvey Weinstein could do.
Well, it's not a show I'm pitching. You understand? It's a show I'm envisioning. I'm putting on my sci-fi author hat, and I'm painting a picture of a dystopian future where convicted pedophiles host TV. I guess it's not that much.
I know, but this is
it doesn't really, or the past, or the present.
This doesn't have to be in the realm of fantasy. Is all I'm saying. This could be a legendary. I mean, OJ had Juiced, the prank show,
right?
That he had for a while. This could be a Harvey Weinstein vehicle.
Well, he's not convicted pedophile.
Caned.
I don't think we can call him a pedophile.
I think he has a lack enough. He lacks enough moral conscience that he would hurt a child emotionally.
Oh, sure. Fair enough. Okay. There is a Venn diagram there, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, my thing was he was going to get down to a point, but even the pedophile wouldn't, he goes to put in the grandma, I'll do this. And he goes, no, you don't put sugar in her blood. She's diabetic.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bigger payoff. I'm like the producer of the show. We thought that would be a bigger payoff. That scene we would end with, people hate this show. Who are you? It's like... My uncle's Harvey Weinstein. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Christmas show. Speaking of I thought you were gonna say it's like one of those cakes that's shaped like a dildo.
Oh, right.
And I just remembered. And this will, so we're gonna. I was gonna talk a little bit about Ray Fiennes for a bit. We've been having kind of a Ray Fiennes. Is it Ray Fiennes?
Yeah.
You say Ralph Fiennes. I think it's Ray Fiennes.
I mean, to be fair, it's very much spelled like Ralph.
It's spelled like Ralph, but it's the guy. He's done a lot of things. You know, he's the guy who played Voldemort and amongst other things.
Among Ghosts.
What?
You got confused, but you're still confused by it.
What?
He played the Nazi officer.
Yeah.
Among Ghosts.
Among Go. All right, we'll get that in a minute. Before we get to that, I forgot because we've been watching a bunch of his movies. It started out because we saw a movie on Saturday.
Yeah.
And after the movie, while we were waiting for our Uber, we were stuck in the cold, and we walked to like you get your keys or whatever. Point is, we walked into a sexual bakery.
Yeah.
Or was it like a cookie store that sold sex objects shaped like cookies?
Yeah.
No, cookie shaped like
yeah.
yes,
Starts
and
out
not remarkable. I mean, we were just in there like.
I gotta say, I was impressed. The cookie was a good cookie.
The cookies were fine, but like you go to the counter and it's just a bunch of very generic looking dicks.
Yeah, generic dicks, generic vaginas.
And there were waffles, and we're like, we'll get the waffle. We'll get and it was, I said like we were waiting for an Uber, and I was like hey. What are these, waffle? He's like, yeah, I think one of what shape do you want? I'm like, I don't know, the cock. He's like, he starts laughing, and it's like, you work like, how is that? Not, I mean, I wasn't saying it as a gag. I just like, what do you want? The cock one, I guess. I mean, because that's what vaginas.
I mean, that's probably the most casual anyone has ever said it. Like, where it's like, probably a lot of the people who go in there are like, it's probably a lot of bachelorette parties and stuff.
Giggling.
Where it's like, hey, wait, I would like the little penis, please. And you're just like, can I get the cock waffle?
I can't. I mean,
we actually said to the guy, we're like, we're not really here for the gimmick. We just want to get out of the cold.
Yeah, we're just much like Mary and Joseph. We're just coming in from the cold, and we just went. Just give me a cock waffle, please. I mean, and a couple waters, and then he didn't have that, so
we just need something hot.
But I said, is that gonna be a long time? He's like, well, it's gonna take like 7 minutes. I'm like, oh. He's like, I guess just give him one of these cookies. We had to buy something.
Yeah.
And so we just got a cookie with like an icing cap that said
fondant.
Fondant, like, yeah, and it just said "fuck me, slut" or something.
Yeah.
I'm a whore.
Yeah, honestly, I've never seen a less clever sexual bakery, and I haven't seen that many sexual bakeries.
Put it in my pussy, please. Like, I just need to get off. I just need to come.
Usually, I when I imagine a sexual bakery, I imagine something that's like a little bit more clever, implied.
Yeah.
Things with little cheeky phrases.
Yeah, like
not just like I'm gonna choke you with my cock, or
yeah. What are some cheeky phrases?
In like pink font.
If we were doing a sexual bakery, what would be like the What do you think? Like it would be like well, like there's Juji fruits. I'm trying to think of what we'd make. There's
Pocky.
We make Pocky. That Japanese treat, Pocky. We just call it Kaki.
Yeah.
There you go. It's one. It's one.
Beautiful.
Brown eye instead of brownie. Because anal. We have let me think. What's mission? Marzipam. Pam. What sounds like a Pam? Marzipam. Fuck your mother. I don't. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, honestly, it's tough. I wouldn't open a sexual bakery in this economy.
Doggy style Doritos.
Yeah, and it's like we're literally just selling bags of Doritos. But like we call them doggy style Doritos.
Do we get them from Costco and just fill like Ziploc bags?
Yeah.
With like, just have like a label that says doggy style Doritos. And the Cool Ranch ones are called covered in semen. You want the doggy style Doritos, or they're covered in semen?
We're gonna have like the sexual bakery equivalent of just a regular like deli that says like organic food market on the facade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just,
Oh, right,
like,
yeah.
here's some.
Yeah, well, just explain. Like,
Here's some cup of noodles. from
every
your-
deli in, like, I don't know if it's true everywhere, but in Brooklyn, every deli says they're gourmet, and like they're, you know, if you got potato salad there, it's often covered in like a hard shell.
Yeah.
Nothing's gourmet in these gourmet delis.
Right.
The best thing you're gonna get is like a turkey sandwich that isn't, you know, it's only slightly dry. But yeah, I mean, what about like orgasm pretzels? These are cute. These are orgasm pretzels.
And titty broth.
It's just broth.
it's just beef broth.
I mean, look,
Heat it up in a microwave.
people do like broth. I mean, at least where we live, there's shops you can go to and just buy broth. But I wouldn't think it'd be like to combine to make it sexual. It's interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna just be some Goya beef broth.
Oh, it's not like it's not bone marrow broth or anything like that. No, it's just some. What's Goya beef broth? Does Goya make beef broth?
I imagine they might have beef broth.
They probably do. They make a lot of stuff. Goya's a good company. They make a ton of. I mean, I love their red rice and beans. Tremendous.
And if somebody complains that it's not creative enough, I'll just start yelling at them about how good Goya is.
Yeah, these are sexy red rice and beans. What you don't. Are you one of those people who hates Mexican culture? Because you're racist. Anyway, here's your candy condom. It's just a condom with like a Hershey's Kiss duct tape to it.
It's just a condom with an unwrapped lollipop stuck to it.
Like someone licked
like
it.
a hairy licked used lollipop.
Wait, so is a condom like sealed even?
I imagine the condom being sealed, but the lollipop is disgusting.
I like the idea now that like we're basically I'm having a news crew come in and it's like, well, what is it like? You know, we'd like to really kind of use our imagination and come up with things people. You know, it's not just about the candy; it's about the experience and the people marveling at what you've done. So what is this? I took a lollipop, like a blow pop. I just unwrapped the condom and I just rolled it like it was a thick. So you serve it like this? He's like, yeah. Well, how people eat it? Like, well, I guess I could take the condom off, but it's got that kind of weird powder. It's that, the residue the condoms have.
Yeah.
It's like
right.
It's not great. You think these are lubed condoms? I was like, yeah, shouldn't eat this. It's more about the experience. Anyway, whatever. Go support them. They need help. I'm not gonna give the name of the company.
Yeah, I remember the name.
But we saw the movie The Menu with Ralph Fiennes, and he's great. I realized that like he's great in it. The movie's really good. You should I'd recommend it. It's a good satire. It's very fun, very funny. And we've been watching a lot of Ray Fiennes movies, and I realized like earlier in his career, because he was in that movie Quiz Show, which I watched as a kid, where it's about like a bunch of like the Geritol company scams people with this show 21. Remember that? And he's in The English Patient, which I didn't see, but everyone seemed to think was great. He's the Nazi in Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And he's also in this movie Made in Manhattan that you were watching. Right? And
yeah, because after watching The Menu, I was kind of looking on Roku. I was like, what else has Ray Fiennes been in?
Yeah.
And I saw that he was in Made in Manhattan, which was a movie I watched when I was a kid.
Right. I heard of it. I knew it existed.
It's a New York City based Cinderella story about a maid who.
Now, how is this Cinderella? Or is there a magic? Is it like the goats? What we're talking about with God?
No, but it's like the structure of Cinderella.
How?
Well, the basic structure of Cinderella is that she starts out as like a lowly servant.
Right.
She, for one night, is disguised basically as this highfalutin lady.
Right.
In a beautiful dress.
Like they give her crystal shoes.
Yeah.
And the rats turn into like laborers.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like
they go through a painful transformation process.
It's like basically saying like, oh, the servants are always rats.
Yeah. But
it's like a reverse thing.
You get a special night where you're not a rat.
No, but what I'm saying is like you're the princess, but like the people who are actually servants, because the princess, the idea that the princess is somehow being a servant, it never happens. But when the rats come to life, they're still serving.
Right.
The rats, like the godmother comes and goes, like, you're gonna be the princess, and you rats who just eat shit all day and get attacked. Now you're gonna be the people who like open the carriage for her and drive the carriage, right?
Right.
So she's basically saying like, in real life, servants are all rats. But whatever. But yeah, it's a nice story, I guess, for some people. So Maid in Manhattan.
But yeah, so Maid in Manhattan.
Who's the wizard in this movie?
There's no magic.
To be fair, I didn't watch the whole. I came in. You were like 3/4 through. You were like woken up in the middle of the night and started watching this crazy movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense to me. I mean, it was 3/4 of the way through. But who was the wizard?
No, there's no wizard in it. Okay, but the basic story of Maid in Manhattan is Jennifer Lopez plays a hot woman who's a maid.
Okay.
But in the movie would have you think that she's just some pig.
I saw a movie like this on Pornhub.
Who nobody ever pays attention to. Okay, nobody ever hits on.
I mean, I guarantee, like, if Pornhub is anything to be, I'm sure a lot of guys noticed she was hot because, she came out of the bath, she finished cleaning the bathroom, and she comes out, and this guy's on the couch, with his thing out.
Oh yeah.
With his dick.
Yeah.
And he's going, hey, and she's like, oh, go, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it's fine. This is fine. I mean, there's a whole series of things on Pornhub about like that, like the Bang Bros make, I think.
Man, it really is just it's a fine line between a romantic comedy and just porn.
Well, I mean, in this case, it's more whitewashing.
In this case, the porn is probably more realistic.
Yeah,
because they say that porn distorts like young men's view of what's real,
right?
But like that's closer to reality than
no. In this one, she's like some guy's running for Senate, and he. How does he? Is there a trailer for this? Bring a trailer up for this movie before we proceed. Because honestly, it's making no sense now. This is movie like we'll watch this scene after that.
Okay. Official trailer.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Friday morning, people. Heads up.
At Manhattan's Beresford Hotel, where the rich and famous can always be seen.
Mr. Marshall, is it true you're running for senator?
It was Marissa Ventura.
No, this man, this Ray Fiennes guy, is he a celebrity like Trump who's becoming a Senate runner? Like what? Why are they following him around? Like Mr. why is he so?
He's always being mobbed by paparazzi, which makes sense because in this movie, Ray Fiennes plays a famous state assemblyman.
That doesn't exist. Just I think if you could offer people $1 million and the chance to be featured in a maid themed porn video, and if all they could do is name any assemblyman ever in any state, and then no one could. I don't know the hell. Sorry if we have any fans who are assemblymen or assemblywomen, but you know what you're doing. They're always the most scary people in the country because they're just like, what are they doing? What are they up to? Someone elected them. I filled someone out in the bubble. Oh, you didn't know who you're voting for? Shut the fuck up. Cares.
Also, this movie does something really weird that a lot of romantic movies from this time do, where Ray Fiennes' character is a Republican. Like, he announces early on that he's a Republican.
Okay.
But then whenever he, like, says something he believes, it's like redistributing money and, like, environmental regulations. Like
not traditionally Republican ideas.
Yeah, like, he's just a Democrat, but the writer's like, he's a Republican. He's a Republican, trust me.
Yeah, I don't... I don't think they know. It's just Hollywood doesn't even know what Republicans do. They just like think they're bad. They think they're bad Democrats.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like rich Democrats.
Yeah.
Like,
his job to go unnoticed.
A Beresford maid is expedient. Excuse me, that needs pressing. A Beresford maid stares with a smile. Maria, excuse me, what do you think? Kilcher coat, Ralph Lauren skirt. She's a maid.
Wait, isn't she working in a hotel?
Yeah.
So this woman knows the name of the maid in the hotel, and is like asking her, like treating her like a, asking for opinions on like, how does this even work?
Yeah, that's a little contrived.
And also, she's a maid, but like, and I guess Amy Sedaris is supposed to be like, she's a maid, don't ask her. But like, you just can't change the tone. Like, she's a maid, don't ask her. Like, she's trying to do her job.
Yeah,
Don't ask her for you. Well, I know fashion. Like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And above all, a Beresford maid strives to be invisible.
I had no idea anyone was here.
Oh, they do have that.
Oh, I guess that is kind of a version.
See,
of that. Yeah.
This is where I got the idea from. So there are those guys in this universe. There are those guys. There's also charismatic assemblymen
Yeah.
who
Famous.
yeah.
It's no big deal.
Why?
Also, these other maids are always dancing.
Right. Why are they laughing off sexual assault? Or whatever it was?
I don't know. I think that's because it's funny in this world. It's funny.
He raped me, but his cock was so small. Well, I mean, that just seems like tonally kind of weird.
Also, there's this plot line where Jennifer Lopez wants to rise from the position of maid and become like a services manager at the hotel.
Right. It's interesting.
Which also doesn't seem like that it would be that well paying of a job. But
I mean, probably better than maids, to be fair. I don't know what maids make.
yeah,
I don't think they usually make them managers to the big hotel.
right.
I mean, they should. They should let them be the manager. Who cares? Some idiot. You know the kind of people who go to school for hotel management?
Mm.
You think they're better than maids?
That's a good point.
Yes. Sorry if people are hotel. We love hotel managers. We love them.
But when you least expect it,
Put it back. Not to be tried on.
His name's Rufus.
Oh, so she steals. She steals a dress, and then this guy is gonna
I know
think.
who you are.
Yeah, what do you know?
You're running for senator.
I love this kid.
fate can open
That's
the
weird.
door.
It's Ty. What are you talking about? Ty, don't eat.
Hello?
Hi. This is Chrissy.
Honestly,
I don't understand. This is the weirdest trailer ever. This is a whole scene in the movie in the trailer.
One thing that struck me through the whole movie was that Ray Fiennes is way too much of a weirdo, like, for this kind of movie. And
No, he's good at being
and
like.
it always shows throughout the movie.
He's
like,
good at being like the guy in Bruges who's like, you're an anonymous fucking object. Or like, like the mob boss guy. He's like, he's probably good at Voldemort. I didn't watch the Voldemort movies, one of the Harry Potter movies.
Like, I kind of see why they cast him in this because he is very attractive at this age.
His accent's like, hello, I'm an American citizen.
But everything about him is weird.
Hi, I'm running for Senate.
And like kind of off-putting and intimidating.
I was born in New York City. Hello. He's a great actor, but he's like just like me. He can't really nail accents or impressions.
I wonder if this was before or after Schindler's List. I'm not sure.
Oh, I mean, he's riding that Schindler's List coat. What do you call him? Amuse Bouche, the famous Nazi. He's riding that coat.
Infamous mass murderer.
Yeah.
Amuse Bouche.
Giant gray dog. I'm gonna go walk with them, okay?
Come with us, if your husband wouldn't mind.
If your husband wouldn't mind. He sounds like, who does he sound? He sounds like fucking, like half of Werner Herzog. If your husband wouldn't mind. He sounds like some kind of 1920s, like fucking weird, like, gangster who's played by a Lithuanian, like, fucking immigrant. Hello. He sounds like Hannibal Lecter. Who talks like this in America?
Love your suit.
I was born in Dave, Ohio.
I have a husband.
I wonder if anyone's made a trailer mashup using the footage of Amon Goth and Helen Hirsch in Schindler's List, but remixing it so that it's like made in Manhattan.
No one else knows the scene you're talking about. You were talking about this in the movie. You were Amon. He played. Isn't it funny? He played Amon Goth, and I'm like, what are you talking? Like, you went for 5 minutes. You were like, I'm like he played. Cause I thought the guy like he played. I thought you were saying like Moen Goth was a famous family. He's like he played one of the Moen Goths. But no, a Moen Goth. How do you remember the name of the Nazi in Schindler's List who was mean to the maid?
Well, he was a big part of the movie.
How often do you watch Schindler's List?
He's an infamous murderer.
How
And
often?
also, like, the movie is based on real events.
If
I know that's a controversial statement nowadays.
Adolf Eichmann's like the big one people talk about, and
Right.
like I don't think. I mean, what I don't. I that's a deep pull. Is my point. I don't even think Israeli people like know the name Among Us.
I think a lot of people who have seen Schindler's List distinctly remember this dynamic because it's so chilling.
I bet you like Mossad never heard of him. Like they got, we got Eichmann. We don't need Amon Gold. He just another Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh, we heard a maid. All right, well they killed the maid.
No, she survived.
All right, well we have a lot on our plate here. We got 6 million dead, despite what Kanye West would have you think. And so we're dealing with some of those cases, not this guy who yelled at his maid or whatever. I mean, that's sad. I'm sorry for the maid. We're all dealing with a lot of baggage here.
I'm just saying, there's a maid in this. There's a maid in Schindler's
Do
List.
you think the maid shows up to like Holocaust conventions, and like she's sitting there next to people who were in was the maid in a concentration camp?
I think for a time.
Oh, I feel okay. Oh, so she actually goes to a concentration camp.
Yeah, I think like there was, she had this kind of precarious ticket out of like the quote unquote worst of it because she became this guy's housekeeper and survived somehow, even though he was like very cruel to her.
I'm not saying she didn't have a bad time of it.
Yeah,
and I'm not. And if she was in a concentration camp, that's horrible. I'm not saying people who survive concentration camps. To be clear, I am not saying people who survive concentration camps are not entitled to like feel like victims. I'm not making that. I was taking issue with you just cherry picking names of like Nazi guys because he was mean to a maid once. But now I realize people might interpret that as like oh, she wasn't killed? Get out of here.
Look, I wasn't trying to make some grand statement about who's the bigger Holocaust guy.
Why are we doing this with this kid's face?
I just like trailer mashups, and I think this would make a good one.
It would be a good one. I agree. So let me bring this back up. I just didn't want to keep talking about the Holocaust and this kid's face on the thing. So now because this assemblyman's dating they don't even know she's a maid yet. The paparazzi are going crazy because the assemblyman has a girlfriend.
Yeah. And you know how the press just loses their shit when an assemblyman's personal life, when he's dating and stuff.
But I'm gonna Google most.
The press will not leave you alone when you're a state assemblyman.
Most famous state assemblyman. Google will come up with like a 404 probably. Assemblyman of all time.
Of all time.
I want to see the biggest one. I got Carl E. Hesty. I got Harry Bronson. I got I mean the word nothing's coming up. Nothing you understand what I'm saying. Famous assemblyman. Nothing's computed. It's just showing me assemblyman. There is no state assembly. Yeah, Carl Hesty. Yeah, that's it. It's Carl Hesty and his Harry Bronson.
Does it say why Carl Hesty is the most famous assemblyman?
He's the 100th speaker of the New York State Assembly. So I think he's just a current speaker. That's how little Google understands what I'm trying to ask it. Like famous? What do you mean famous? Like
here's one.
This guy's the speaker. That's more famous than the others, right? It's a kinda. We don't know, but this guy. But the New York Post can't get enough of this guy. Look at this guy. Look at his murdering face.
Sometimes I feel like I live there.
The girl that was invisible.
Who's this? Well, I'll tell you who she is, and she isn't like anyone I've ever met before, and she isn't a phony.
Who are you running around with? He's actually he's the Queen of England. I'm surrounded by yes men. Like no, you're not. You only have your own office. You share the office with like 3 other assemblymen probably. You eat lunch at a deli every day.
Some of the best scenes in this movie are when they're talking, or scenes where they try to have J-Lo and
Ralph
Fiennes talk about politics.
Right.
So like this, like Fiennes is like saying like, oh yeah, I'm going to this fundraiser. It's $2,500 a plate to, raise money for inner city schools.
Yeah.
And J-Lo's like, and she's supposed to be like the real working class woman,
Sure.
like telling it like it is. So
Right.
she's like, why don't they just pay less for the dinner and give the money directly to the kids? And it's like,
What?
that is what a fundraiser
No,
dinner
we're
is.
giving the money to the kid. Like, yeah, we're not.
The dinner isn't worth $2,500.
Yeah. you don't even you understand, like, the nature of profit and, like, what. No, I don't. Yeah, look, I mean, doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm sure there is some point there. Like, there might be a point where it's like, 'cause look, if what do you pay? Like, I mean, what do you pay for like a party? Like $400, like a few $100 a plate? Like, you go to a catering hall, like a party, they say, like, we're planning a wedding, and people have all these scenarios, and we're trying to tell them to go to hell. But, like, average, like, for a nice thing is like $400 a plate, right? Well, if you include all the entertainment and stuff. Like, not like the catering hall, right? So, like, let's just say it's $500 a plate, and they're charging $25,000 a pop. That's a lot of profit to go to the poor.
Yeah.
She wants an extra $500. Just get that. Maybe they can use that to buy an iPod, an iPad, or an iPad Pro, perhaps, and they can play Angry Birds. What is this bitch talking about?
Is all he can see.
He thinks I'm a guest. This could be bad. Oh, don't tell me you fall for the guy. It's complicated.
This is so dumb. The movie's bad. But there's this scene that that you originally brought up. Let's see.
I just have to leave.
Wait, we'll turn this up. Make this louder, please. Do you have the option? No. Here. Why is this clip so low? Yeah, whatever. Hold on. I'll make it louder here. Okay, go ahead.
Do you have somewhere else you have to be?
No, I just have to leave.
Oh, I don't think you're leaving. I think you're running. And what I can't figure out is, are you running towards something you want? Or are you running away from something you're afraid to want?
What the fuck is that? What? Are you... What? What more time?
One? Oh, I don't think you're leaving. I think you're running. And what I can't figure out is, are you running towards something you want? Or are you running away from something you're afraid to want?
This is the most. This guy is like a bad spy. This guy is like a guy who he's a guy who actually he speaks like this normally, or he's Russian. This is like a bad Russian agent. This sounds nothing anyone who's ever even lived in America sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't know what Ralph Fiennes' vision of Americans is frightening.
Yeah. It might be one of the strangest castings in a romantic comedy I've ever seen.
I mean, do you think they said that? I mean, I guess you kind of made this joke before, but you think they sat there and said, like, they watched the Schindler's List and was like, can we get that guy for a film? the sharp-looking Nazi? Did he look good in Schindler's List? Bring a picture of him up. Let's see. My mustache keeps getting in my nose. I cut my mustache.
Schindler's List in general just has a dismal feel to it.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a slog, as they say. It's not exactly, it's no Frosty the Snowman.
Let's see, where is
Here we go.
There he is, okay. Yeah, look, he's a good-looking guy.
I'll bring him at home. Make one of these, like, click this. Why don't they put him in the middle? Hold on, just leave it. So that's him. Yeah, look, I mean, you wouldn't sit there and go, he's ugly.
Yeah.
You go, look how many people he's killed.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't kick him out. Well, you might kick him out of bed for that.
The actor, not the person.
No, I'm saying, look, if you saw this, and this, like, we know he's not actually amuse-bouche, but he's not the real amuse-bouche, but he's a guy, but I'm saying you might kick him out of bed for being a Nazi and killing people, but not because his face was ugly.
Well, I mean, look, this is the actual guy.
Oh, he's not very. Yeah,
they're never as tight as the actor playing them.
No, that's true. They really. Why did? I mean, Steven Spielberg's not a Nazi sympathizer. I wouldn't say that, right? He made Schindler's List. It's popular. Schindler's List very much popularized that the Holocaust was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the first thing to do it, but it very much like the movie JFK, which also was kind of pertinent now, I guess. Much like JFK in 1991, the Oliver Stone film, which kind of reignited the Kennedy assassination story. Schindler's List kind of was like, you guys probably forgot about this, but there was a Holocaust, and there was a big much like in Jurassic Park, '94. There was like a lot of merch. You remember that
from Schindler's List?
I had a Schindler's List lunchbox.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't have those lunchboxes as a kid, like different shows or whatever. I had at one point I had Alf one, I had a Super Mario Bros. Lunchbox.
I honestly, I feel like you're probably fucking with me, but I honestly can't tell completely.
That's how good of an actor I am.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course, it's not real.
You are good.
I should be in films. I don't know what kind of films it would be. Films where I'm just bragging about having a Schindler's List lunchbox. I should be filmed by the FBI. Surveilled.
I could say I have a Schindler's List lunchbox, and it wouldn't be. Well, God, what was that thing called?
I don't know. The Holocaust?
And it wouldn't even be a blip on the lie detector.
It wouldn't be a blip on the lie detector. I don't know what analogy you're trying to dig for here. I just went from me being a good actor to in your scenario, like I'm on James Lipton, who's R.I.P. inside the actor studio, and usually people are very humble on that show, but I'm saying to him, look, it's good that you finally had me on, James. Thank you, because I am a great actor. In fact, I'm such a good actor. I can tell you right now that I had a Schindler's List lunchbox, and it wouldn't even be a blip on the lie detector. I mean, what? What does that mean?
I think that should be a common phrase for when someone's a really good actor.
This guy, it's such an awkward phrase because every time you use it, you go give me a movie.
Titanic.
Leonardo DiCaprio is such a good actor. In films that if he told you he was a young man who was on the Titanic, it wouldn't even be a blip on the radar on the lie detector. Like, you have to kind of you have to include his part in the analogy, but in a really weird unnatural indirect way. Sam Neill's such a good actor. If he told you he was a paleontologist, it wouldn't be a blip on the lie detector.
No, I think it only works as a phrase if it's always them pretending that they had a Schindler's List lunchbox.
That's a good.
So it would be like,
yeah.
It would be like Robert De Niro is such a good actor. He could tell you that he had a Schindler's List lunchbox. It wouldn't even be a blip on the lie detector.
So it's just okay. Interesting. So it's just yeah.
Yeah.
That's you're crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy.
Like the way break a leg. You always say break a leg. It's not dependent on what the person's doing. You don't say break a dinosaur to Sam Neill.
I know. I'm not saying it's all about brevity. It's not the only thing, but it's 3 words. Break a leg. Nah, if this guy told you he had a Schindler's List lunchbox, it wouldn't even be a blip on the line. That's so many words for any no one's is there anything you can think of that has that many words? Any expression, analogy, idiom, no,
I can't. But I think that's what's gonna make it stand out.
Sure, it sounds like the translation of some Chinese proverb, or whatever, by a bad translator even, or a Russian thing. We don't have word for it, but man who steals cheese from a child. So that's why the.
Now, what will make it sometimes make it confusing? Mm-hmm. I think it's a pretty straightforward phrase, but what will sometimes make it confusing is if you're applying it to people who have been in Schindler's List.
Okay, so
if you say Liam Neeson is such a good actor,
he told you a Schindler's List lunchbox,
it wouldn't even be a blip on the lie detector. People might go, "Wait, you mean because he was in Schindler's List?" And then you have to say, "No,
it's just an analogy,
just because he's really good."
Right?
Yeah.
Does he have a Schindler's List? Did someone make that for him at a Holocaust convention and hand it to him?
No. It's just,
are there Holocaust conventions?
Conventions.
Well, look, there's you laugh, but there's there are AA conventions, right? And the comics will work them, right? Sometimes I know that. And that's not the same as Comic-Con. I know you're thinking Comic-Con, but it's not everything's Comic-Con, right? And there's probably conventions for Al-Anon even. Or survivors of whatever. victim. So it's not crazy to me there'd be a convention of Holocaust victims. And they would get entertainment for them. And, like, why not the guy who played Amuse Bouche? Or Liam Neeson?
Wait, you're saying that guys who have played Nazis in famous movies would come and provide entertainment in what form?
They would just,
like they would do magic tricks for him?
No, you would have him speak, like a guest speaker, and he would talk. It doesn't. I mean,
what could they tell a Holocaust
why do I look? If I'm a Comic-Con attendee, why do I? What's the guy who played the hologram doctor on Deep Space Nine going to do for me? Give me a hand job? I mean, what are we talking about? Like, is he going to play, like, do scenes from the show? But people go and meet them. They want to, right? They like that.
Look,
I don't go to conventions. I don't go to Comic-Con.
People who go to Star Trek conventions go because they love Star Trek. So of course they want to hear from Star Trek actors.
Okay.
But people who would go to Holocaust survivor conventions
Right.
aren't going because they're huge fans of Ray Fiennes. They're going because they survived a mutual trauma.
No, look, sure, but you need things. It can't all just be, and then they put me in this part of the concentration camp. Then they didn't feed me for this many days, and then they killed this many members of my family. I mean, even though that's what, like, you're there for, you need a little, hey, all right, let's put a pin in that. We're going to meet up back at 3:00 to continue this session of a group dialogue. And again, I don't know if this exists at all, but I don't think it's crazy. But we have to get over, because the guy who played the Amuse Bouche Nazi killer guy, he's gonna do a little Q&A, and it's gonna be nice. And it's like, he was in Schindler's List, nice. Yeah, I mean, I think people respect Schindler's List. I think Holocaust victims are happy it got made, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm crazy here. I know I took a leap of faith saying it, but I think it's very possible that everything I'm saying is totally true or totally possible. That, like, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get the guy, like, you get Eli Wiesel every year to speak, about his book Night. He's a good get, but you don't get him every year. Sometimes. Yeah, people look. You run a convention, and people who run if you organize anything, you need to get people to come, right? And so you need to keep it interesting. And it's like, not everything is actually that good. Sometimes it's just about the spectacle. It's about the flyer that goes out in the mail, and you go, "Oh, Ray Fiennes, and he's a good-looking man," And like, yeah, he played a Nazi in this movie. That's important,
right?
I think it's very possible. Is there any way YouTube doesn't have a problem with this?
Oh,
right there.
Oh,
okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I would like for there to be somebody. I would love for somebody to get the name the Amuse Bouche killer.
I mean,
unrelated.
I think they'd probably go, in another role he just did.
Oh,
I don't want to go into detail, but again, we're not being sponsored, but I rarely see movies anymore that I'm actually like that good in the theater.
Yeah, the menu was good.
The menu was very good. I liked it.
He was great in it.
He was great. He's also great in Schindler's List, apparently.
In Bruges.
In Bruges. He's very good.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel. Not Carlitos. Wait, what's the movie with the Coen brothers? Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Great.
What is this? What is this podcast becoming?
Ray,
you know what I mean? You know what's another movie Ray Fiennes was in? Fucking Red Dragon. We actually watched Red Dragon last night.
Yeah.
That movie's pretty bad.
That movie's like, it's kind of, it's entertaining enough as a thriller, but like there are some really stupid moments.
Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman just on a wheelchair.
On fire.
He got duct taped to a wheelchair. No, he glued him to a wheelchair, set him on fire, and just put him barreling down a hill.
Which means that he must have been right at the top of the hill to push him.
Yeah.
And like, as the best part of that scene is that like Philip Seymour Hoffman he's not really even in the center of the frame enough that you can really tell what's going on.
Right.
It's not until like the wheelchair like finishes rolling that you're like, oh, I guess that was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Right. I guess he was burning to death.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta catch this killer. Yeah. We didn't get to it today, but I guess we'll talk about it in the Patreon. So, I guess it's a good segue. If you like the show and you want to hear more of it, you get an extra episode every week. If you sign up for our Patreon for only $5 a month. And we were off last week because Lucie got you were sick, and we thought we were gonna push a couple of days and end up just becoming, whatever. And we didn't do an episode last week, and we did do one for the Patreon. We don't, no offense to people who don't, but the point is, you pay the $5, we don't let you get ripped off. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to gatekeep.
You pay the $5. We won't allow you to get ripped off by us.
Anyway, so we'll talk about this Kennedy assassination stuff on that. Not trying to gatekeep Paygate content or anything. It's just we talked too long about Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
The Holocaust Convention. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.